Hello, welcome back. My name is Charlie. This is the latest installment in the TBR culling series that I've been doing here on the channel for a long time at this point. If you are new to this channel or to this series, I am about to walk you through the deal, and if you are not new here, feel free to jump ahead. There'll be timestamps in the description. I will be mentioning a little bit about the next steps in this series, so maybe it's worth sticking around. Up to you. If this is your first time here, don't worry about it. You can stay right here on this video, and if you get to the end of this video and you enjoyed it, there's plenty of other videos in this series for you to watch. You can watch them in any order. It doesn't matter at all. It's just me looking at a book and deciding if I want to keep it on or take it off of my TBR. That's it. So this series started out as just me wanting to cut down on my TBR, my Goodreads want to read shelf. It had gotten really big to the point where it's not been helpful for me, honestly. So the goal was to cut it down to something that is helpful, and it's gone really well. I'm excited to share like the numbers at the end of this and like see how far we've come, because I just looked at the numbers. It's good. We did a really good job. Basically what I'm doing is I took a Goodreads export, right? You can export your books from Goodreads just right on the site. It's easy to do, and you get this spreadsheet, and it's big and unwieldy, and I've been taking that unwieldy list and I've been wielding it, and I've been going line by line, book by book, and just going and taking things off or leaving them on. But I've been thinking it through. I have been retroactively changing my mind about a lot of decisions that I've made since starting my Goodreads years ago. And so it's been great. There's currently, like at this point, 966 books on my Goodreads want to read shelf. And so I'm cutting it down one by one, and I just looked at the numbers of what we've done from that 966 down to where I am now. We made a huge dent. I'm really excited to share that in a future video, where we like review how we did. So far, crushed it. And yeah, it's been great. It's been really great for, it's been fun to make these videos, but it's also been really fun to like work with you, everybody watching this, to cut down on the list. And there's been a lot of help given, a lot of conversation about the books that I've been mentioning in these videos. And a lot of people have been really helping me to cut things out and correcting me when I cut things out erroneously. Like books that I have taken off that people have been like, whoa, you should keep that on, and the other way around. You should take off that book that you kept on your list. Things like that. It's been great. I intend for this essentially to just be like a podcast or like a background noise for you, so you can just pop it in and listen to me ramble about books for usually around an hour once a month. And yeah, again, it's been great. In the last of these videos, we got to the end of the initial export. So the export that I did, or that I took from Goodreads back in September of 2024, that's when this all started, I guess, when I did the export initially, because I had the idea for these videos. At the end of last month's video, we got to the bottom of it. That was great. That was exciting milestone. But I've added a lot of things to my TBR, obviously, since September of last year, because I am always adding things to my TBR. I've been much more careful about it. So, I think all the things that I've added since then are probably going to stay on the list, whereas the ones before that, it was really hit and miss because I was just kind of adding everything that I heard about. But now I'm more conscious of this since starting the series especially. So I would assume that today is going to be a really light day for removals. But that's fine. That's because I've been careful. So today, I just did the newest run of the export, and we added like something like 77 books. There have been 77 editions since September of 2024, which for me, that's really not that bad. I've been very careful. So I think we're going to do really well today. By do well, I mean, I've done well, and we're not going to have to take anything off today, but we'll see. We'll see how I did. I am probably wrong, because I only added 77 books in this last stretch of time. We can do this all in one video. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to split this up into a couple videos, but I usually cover about 100 books in these videos, so we should be fine. We should be able to cut it all into this one video, which is great. And then from there, the next video will probably be me going over some of the question marks that I've left on the list. And I'm going to go back through the comments on all the videos and try to figure out, any last minute changes on things. And then hopefully also make some sort of determination on some of the authors that I just, I don't know where to start with this author, like Stephen King, for example. I started this list. There were a bunch of Stephen King books all over it, and I didn't know where to start, so I took them all off of my TBR. I want to pick one Stephen King book, so maybe I'll do that. I'll make that decision in next month's video for this series. We'll see. So that's what's gonna come next, and then from there, it's just kind of, there's like probably only a couple videos left. Honestly, it's just like clean it up, and then we're done. So I have a couple more ideas of things that I can do sort of like tangentially off of this. But yeah, we are getting very close. So thank you again for everybody who's stuck around and watched it so far. And I hope you'll continue on from here with me. So that's enough of me rambling. That's too much information. I don't know why I explained that so thoroughly today. We're just going to dive into the list, and I'll see you here after. All right, so last time we left off here at the Goddess of the River, or not the Goddess of the River, just Goddess of the River, and decided to take it off because I want to read a different book by this author first. So that was easy. Took it off. We'll go from there. So starting here, The Good Father by Noah Hawley. What is The Good Father? I don't remember ever hearing about this book, which is... I wonder how often that's going to happen. Again, this list starts now. Where we are is middle of September 2024. So it's been a while. But yeah, I don't know. It hasn't been that long though. I should remember for the most part what we're about to see. But this one here, I don't remember. And I'm reading through this now. It's a mystery thriller. It seems to be not really my speed, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't jump out at me. So maybe I'll remember who told me about this. But for now, I don't remember who told me about this, and the synopsis doesn't sound super interesting to me. And then yeah, it's a little bit out of my typical books that I like. So I'm comfortable. I'm gonna take it out. Boom. First one down. All the Pretty Horses. This one is going to stay on. Here we go. I think, yeah, it begins. All the Pretty Horses is going to stay on. I think this is the next Cormac McCarthy that I'd like to read. I've only read The Road by him, but I really loved it. It had a big impact on me. I read it years ago. I want to reread it. I don't know. I don't make time for rereads, but I do think it would lend well to a reread. 1984. This is George Orwell's 1984. Again, it's like a classic that I want to read. So it'll be staying. My brother read it somewhat recently, and he said it was good. And so does everybody. Everybody reads this, and everybody says it's good. So yeah, this is also going to stay. Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. This one... Ooh, it's a horror. It's a queer horror. That's interesting. That might be enough, honestly, for me to keep it. Is that a weird reason? There's a lot of horror books that I have on my short list, and this doesn't feel like it's one that has been on my short list, but Let's read the synopsis before I make a decision. Okay, after reading the synopsis, this stays for sure. That sounds very cool. I'm intrigued. It's like Miri and Leah go on a deep sea mission, and they come back, and everything's different. And I don't know. It sounds neat. I'm into it. It's like it sounds like almost from some of the reviews, it sounds almost like a horror romance kind of thing, but like a sapphic romance. So yeah, intrigued. It stays. Moving on to New York Minute by Stephen Arion. This author seems genuinely very cool. Hardy's Books did a great interview of him not too long ago, where they just talked about him as an author. It's part of their Books That Made Me series, which is a great interview series that they do over there. They just put out recently a new one today, actually, not recently, today, as of when I'm filming this, with Ragba Payne, who also seemed awesome. But anyway, Stephen Arion, he was really cool. The conversation was really cool. The books that he listed were great. I got like a lot. I think a few things on this TBR are probably from that conversation. But this is his book. It's a novella, and it sounded really cool. And I think I know a few people that have read it. Yeah, Sam Harrison in particular. He gave it 5 stars, and I remember that when he did that. Reminiscent of Stephen King's Bill Hodges books, which I have not read, or Dresden Files. I have read several Dresden Files books at this point, and I love those. So I'm into it. I think he's cool. I think this sounds good. I'm there for it. Lincoln in the Bardo. This can go away because I already read it. I have conflicting feelings on this, but it was. I think overall, I liked Lincoln in the Bardo. It was weird. I talked a lot about it in one of my videos before, so I won't dive into it here. It was weird, but it was good. Absolution, Southern Reach number 4. I shouldn't have this on here because I've only read the first book in the Southern Reach. It like was a trilogy, but now it's a series. This is the 4th book, and I think I just heard recently that he's considering writing a 5th book. So he's continuing on. But I'm gonna take it off because I haven't read book 2 yet. I mean, I would like to. The Coward by so also Stephen Arion or Arian. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I should have one book by this author on my list, and it's going to be New York Minute. A novella is just an easy way to get into an author, I think, and I love novellas, so that's what I'm going to keep here. The Reapers Are the Angels. This one, I don't remember ever hearing about this. Horror zombies. Oh, actually, I think this is from that conversation. I think he mentioned this, Stephen Arion. I believe that is the case. So I am going to keep it because I am remembering that he said really cool things about it. Keeping it for now. I'm going to go rewatch that interview where he talks about it and go from there. Because I think he spoke very highly of it. Martin Eden. Oh, this is a Jack London book. I have not read anything by Jack London, but I would like to. Maybe this is a good place to start. I should ask maybe Tim over at Tim Burbage Reads. Last year, I think he read like 12 Jack London books. I think he read one a month, and so maybe this is one that he's read. It's shelved by him. Which shelf? Yes, he read it. 5 stars. I don't even have to ask him. that worked out. I'm gonna keep it on. He loved it, and yeah, maybe it's a good place for me to start with Jack London. So it can stay. Tim, if you're watching this, let me know if this is a mistake. The Final Strife. This seems to be a fantasy romance, but I don't know. Something about the synopsis. It just doesn't, it's not jumping out at me. I think I am actually going to take it off. It's very highly rated, but I don't know. It just doesn't sound like it's going to do anything do anything to me. I don't know how to explain it. It's not jumping out. Next, Sleeping Giants. This one is another one that I don't really have any recollection of. Someone's riding a bike, falls through the earth. That's interesting. So this is a sci-fi type of book. Sounds kind of cool, but I'm going to take it off. Yeah, I'm going to take it off. An Exile of Water and Gold by Joshua Walker. I think, I knew it. This here, The Rest to the Gods. I don't know when this came out. I could probably check that. But this is a prequel novella. So I think if I was going to read this series, I would probably start at the prequel novella. So I think I'm going to add that as a want to read, and then I'm going to remove book 1. I think that's fair. Falling into Oblivion. This one, I know the cover. It's a really cool cover. I've heard some mixed things, though, about the book itself. Again, it's like cyberpunk sci-fi type stuff. I mean, it's well rated here. It's a well-loved book. Something about it, I feel like in my head, it's labeled as a skip. So I'm gonna skip it for now. I'm gonna trust my gut there. The Practice of the Horizon, The Chain. This is gonna stay. I have heard a few of my friends had nothing but good things to say about this. It is apparently very, very good. So I should check it out for sure. I feel like it's maybe like a little too smart for me. But I guess we'll see. We'll see when I pick it up, which I will do. It's on my shelf upstairs, and I think about it fairly often, but I never can pick it up because I feel, again, that like I'm maybe too dumb for it. But we'll see. A Monster Calls. This is a YA fantasy novel. It's also it's a horror YA fantasy novel. So that's neat. And I do remember hearing good things. I can't remember who I heard them from. And I don't think it's on my short list. I think I have a lot of horror that I want to get to before I would pick this up. So I'm going to take it off. But I mean, again, really, really well reviewed book here. So maybe I'm making a mistake again, but we'll see. Kavithri. This one I have actually heard really, really good things about. And so I will be keeping this on. I don't know anybody personally that has read it, I don't think. But yeah, I've heard really good things. Maybe I do. Somebody's read it. One of you has read it. And I can't think of who it is. But yeah, this is going to stay. Saturation Point, the next book on this list, is also going to stay. Partially just because of this cover. How cool is this cover? I love that. I can't explain it. Again, it's a novella, which is cool. Sci-fi novella. I'm into it. It's got a little bit, horror elements. I remember hearing really good things about this one as well. Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher, absolutely gonna stay. Pretty much anything T. Kingfisher puts out these days, I will be picking up. I have not read T. Kingfisher in a while, and I have to rectify that. So maybe it'll be Sword Heart. We will see. This one does not sound familiar. I don't even know how to pronounce this. The Ukinian Wilds. This looks like a lit RPG. Like the cover there, I don't know how to explain it. That looks like it's a lit RPG, but it does not list lit RPG down here in the genres. It's an SPFBO book. That's cool. So it's like indie book. From 2019, it looks like. Let's read the synopsis. Okay, yeah, that can stay. That sounds cool. I'm into it. Yeah, fun. I think. No, I'm taking it off. Whoa, what's happening? I'm taking it off. It's gone. Anji Kills a King. This one I'm going to keep on almost entirely just because I like the author as a person. I think he's cool. He's just a guy on the internet that I follow, but I think he's cool. I can't really, he seems neat. I don't know. And the comp authors here. Joe Abercrombie, I just read something by Joe Abercrombie. It didn't blow me away, but I liked it. R.F. Kuang, same deal. And Christopher Bjornman. I love Christopher Bjornman. So those are pretty good comps, especially the last one for me. And I know several of my friends have read this and all had mostly good things to say. Like, I think everybody says it's at least worth a read. And some of my friends liked it even more than that, like, more than just worth a read. So it's going to stay for a multitude of reasons. But even if I had heard bad things, I'd probably still want to pick it up based on the author. The next one is The Tenacious Tale of Tana, the Tender Sword. This is a middle grade book, very short little thing. SPFBO finalist, I believe, this year, or the past one, the most recent one. And yeah, I'm into that. That sounds good. I'm keeping it. Hero Trial. I don't know what this one is. Oh, okay. I think this was a recommendation from Timothy Burbage. Yeah, right here. He gave it 5 stars. It sounds cool. It's a middle grade fantasy book. I would probably wait until I can read this with my son, which would probably be years from now. Maybe I'll get it and read it with my nephew. That could be fun. Yeah, okay. Maybe that, or buddy read it with him. It sounds really cool. I remember Timothy Burbage had a video where he talked about it. At least part of that video he talked about it. So I'll have to go dig that up, but this can stay. Julia and the Shark. I'm tempted to say it was the same video where he talked about this. I think it was a video of his, at least. If it wasn't in one of his videos, then he at least talked to me about this book. And I think whenever that happened, if it was a video or if it was a conversation with him, he also mentioned Julia and the Shark. And this also sounded really good. It's another middle grade fiction book, and another one that I feel like would be fun to either read with my son or buddy read with my nephew. It sounds like this one's probably a pretty beautiful read, and it focuses on mental health type of stuff, I believe. So that sounds cool. I'm going to keep that one on as well. And then over here we have The Dragonette Prophecy. It's very possible that this is in that same exact category of middle grade fantasy books, probably recommended by Timothy Burbage, but I'm not sure. Or maybe, this one's possibly Rebecca Nicole. She also has a YouTube channel and is also very nice and has great recommendations. I had asked at some point, I'm now remembering, in a channel for recommendations for books that I can read with my nephew, and I feel like maybe these were recommendations that I got from that conversation. Another one here by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, who's the author of Julia and the Shark, The Girl of Ink and Stars. This one, I believe I've seen in stores. And again, middle grade fantasy, so broken record. Now, the question is this or Julia and the Shark? And the answer is Julia and the Shark. I'm going to start there. I'm going to take this one off solely because of the rating here, honestly, but I think that's okay. Tim, if you're watching and you have a different opinion of which one you think I should read first, let me know, and I'll address that. The Dark is Rising by Susan Cooper. This one does sound familiar. This is a book 2. That shouldn't be on my list. Book 1 is Over Sea Under Stone. Is that what I want? Let me see. I'm actually remembering, I think, that this was a recommendation by Cams, again, another YouTube channel, Cams Campbell. And I believe that he says you don't even need to read the first book. I think I need to dig into this one a little bit more. I'm going to leave it with a question mark and talk to Tim and Cams probably about this one, see what they think. And then I think, again, from the same conversation, Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. Again, this is a middle grade book. This one written by Brandon Sanderson, though. Sorry, not middle grade, maybe young adult. Somewhere in that range. Yeah, it's got both tags here. Again, it sounds fun. It's in that same age group of the rest of these that we've just talked about. I'm going to keep it. It's Brandon Sanderson. It'd be fun to get my nephew into Brandon Sanderson and or my son at a later point in life. The Book of Three. This is a series called The Chronicles of Prydain. This is the first book in that series. I actually just bought the whole series. I've not read these, but Campbell, again, had mentioned these before, and I bought it pretty much solely on his recommendation. I'm excited to get to them at some point. They're new and up on my shelf, and I'm excited. They have killer covers, at least this first one. It's nuts. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I'm very curious to find out what that's all about. Mortal Engines. This has to be another Tim Burbage recommend here. I know that he loves this book, and I'm sure I picked it up, or not picked it up, put it on my TBR based on his recommendation. Sure, I'll keep it. We're keeping a lot today. The Breeds of Man. This one does not sound familiar to me. The Breeds of Man. From the synopsis, I don't think I would like that. I don't think. I'm going to take it off. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to take it off. I'm comfortable with that. La Riata? Blackwater number 1? I don't know what that is. Fantasy horror gothic. That's cool. I can't read this synopsis. I know one person on Goodreads, Jake Lewis, that has read this book. They gave it 5 stars. That's cool. Oh, no, wait, I guess, yeah, it looks like Rebecca also read this, but Rebecca doesn't leave star ratings here, so I'll have to talk to her directly about that one. I'll leave it with a question mark, because I don't know what that's about, because I can't read the synopsis on Goodreads, because it's in Spanish, which is fine, but yeah, doesn't help me right now. When Haru Was Here. This one does sound familiar. This has a really, really pretty cover. It's a romance, a young adult romance, which that's cool. WandaVision is mentioned in the synopsis at the top as like a comp, which is cool. WandaVision was great. This I would be kind of reading this out of curiosity, like how good is this as a queer romance for young adults, which is like an important space. I think that's like a very vulnerable group of people, and if it's, if they're given a just a nice romance story, I feel like that's important. So I would kind of pick it up almost just based on that. Yeah, I'm definitely curious about it, and I have a friend who gave it 5 stars. So yeah, okay, that stays for sure. When Haru Was Here, you stay. Hellbent shouldn't be on this list because this is a book 2 of a series that I have not read. So you're gone. I want to read that series, but I'm not going to start a book 2. The Bell Jar, Sylvia Plath. This is a classic, supposed to be really difficult read, or I don't know if it's difficult, but it's rough. It's a tough one, but like worth it from everybody that I have heard talk about this book. It's like definitely a book that I should read. So that can stay for sure. Educated. I think I'm actually taking Educated off of this list. I can't remember even. It's a memoir. Yeah, a memoir. What is this about? Who is this about? Who is it about? It's about the author, Tara Westover. It's her memoir that she wrote. This actually does sound cool, or not cool, but interesting. I use that word too much. It sounds good. That's a simpler word, but it works. It does sound like it's probably worth a read. I have a couple memoirs on my list though that I want to get to before I have like too many memoirs, because I've read none of them. So I'm going to take it off. It does sound like something I should come back to at some point and put on. The Island of Dr. Moreau. Now, this one, I believe, was recommended to me after I had mentioned in a couple of videos that I want to read The Invisible Man by the same author, H.G. Wells. And I think people pretty much told me, like, don't bother with Invisible Man. Just go straight to The Island of Dr. Moreau because it's better. I think I'm just going to leave them both on. I want to read The Invisible Man, so I'm going to read that. But then maybe I will later come back to this, even if I don't like The Invisible Man, and try out The Island of Dr. Moreau. The Lost World of the Dinosaurs. I'm down. I'm keeping that. I think this was another one that Rebecca had been reading. Yeah, this is gonna stay for sure. I'm cool with reading more dinosaur books. I really enjoyed the last one that I read, and I'm looking forward to more. Northwoods. This one I'm gonna take off. It just doesn't sound like I'm gonna be obsessed with it, and I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't pick it up anytime soon, and I don't. So I don't need to keep it. War Song. This one is by Michael Mitchell, and for some reason that author's name sounds familiar. I do remember this cover. It's very interesting. Michael Mitchell, I believe, is an indie author. Probably just heard, The Way of the Wizard. Okay, Michael Mitchell also wrote Way of the Wizard. Way of the Wizard, I have heard not so great things about, or really just from one person, but that person did not like it. So I think it's short. This is a novella. Maybe I'll keep it. I'll keep it on my list. This is what I would try. If I'm impressed, maybe I'll check out his full length novel or one of them. Okay. All right, cool. We'll keep it. Arcoma by Callum Lott. I think I've heard pretty good things about this one. It's a fantasy western, which is interesting. I don't know. It falls in the novella realm, and this author has other books that I'm intrigued by as well. This one here, A Dirge for Cassius. Although I do have a friend reading it right now who is not obsessed with this, but I think that's okay. I think I would still keep Arcoma on here because I'm intrigued. Han Kang, I did not enjoy The Vegetarian. Now, I am stupid, right? I'm not stupid, but I'm not a big brain individual, and so it's possible that that's the reason that I did not love The Vegetarian. I feel like maybe there was a message there that I just was not picking up on, but I wasn't picking up on it. It just was weird, and I didn't love it. It was weird to me, I guess, or it was a weird reading experience for me, and I not head over heels about it. But I've heard that the White Book is a really good, I think, essay collection. Although here it says poetry, but I think it's an essay collection. Short stories. Yeah. I know that I've mentioned The Vegetarian and not enjoying it before, and I know that from that conversation, people have recommended that I try more of Han Kang's work. And the White Book, I feel like it gets brought up a lot as a recommendation for that. So I should keep it on here and check it out. Daughter of the Forest, I know I'm going to read this. I'm hoping to read it this year. I'm also hoping to read it this quarter, quarter of the year. It sounds really good to me, and it's been heavily recommended to me by someone, and I gotta get to it. I gotta get to it for them, but also for me, because it sounds like I'll like it. It's like a romantasy that they just think I'll really like based on my taste. So Charlotte, if you're watching, I hear you. I want to get to it. It stays on my list. Far Sector. Okay, this is a comic book that I bought. I guess I'll keep it on my TBR here. I bought it, but I bought it in this like DC put out like these smaller versions of comic books, so they're more compact and more portable. They look nice on a shelf because they look like a normal book, things like that. So I got it. It's kind of like a manga size book. Anyway, I bought it, but it was like kind of too small. Like it's a very wordy comic book so far, at least the first like, I don't know, few pages that I read. And it was a little too wordy for that format, I found. So I was having a hard time with it. So I'm going to keep it on. I think I'm going to take it off. It's not on my short list. And if I want to read it, it's on my shelf upstairs. So I'll pick it up there. But I'm okay with taking it off for now. Heroes of Firth, I opened up in a new tab by accident. Benjamin Averin. Yes. Okay, cool cover there. This, again, is a novella, and I want to read it. I remember wanting to read it. I remember adding it, and I'm going to keep it. The Rise and Reign of the Mammals. This is the follow-up novel to The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs. I loved The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, and it ended, it feels like, with the perfect setup for more. And I am very intrigued for this, to hear more from this author. So again, it's going to stay. The Blighted Stars. I think this is going to stay as well. It's a sci-fi romance, but yeah, I think I've heard really good things. Yes, I did. I just saw that. This is a friend of mine, Bridgeburner Books on Instagram. You can find him there. 4.5. I remember him talking about it, saying it was good. Murderbot, the next Murderbot book. Yeah, it's going to stay. I'm not obsessed with Murderbot, but I've read 4 of the books. This is the first full-length novel. It's like still on the shorter side. Yeah, 350 pages, but it's a full-length book. It's more than a novella, which the other ones have been. And I've heard that it gives you more of the characters. I'm hoping it just doesn't give me more of the same thing that I got in books 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like they're very much the same story, or like structure at least. And I just feel like I'm kind of over it. I took a long pause. I don't remember when I last read a Murderbot book, but it's going to stay on the TBR because I will get to it. I am curious enough. I'm going to skip this next one. It's One Punch Man. I'm going to read it. It's right there on my shelf. It just came today, actually. So that stays. The Incandescent. This one absolutely going to stay. Oops, I had the wrong thing copied. But yeah, Emily Tesh. They wrote a book that I love, or a duology that I love, the Greenwood duology, which I've talked about here several times. And this is their newest full-length novel. I'm super on board. I cannot wait for that. Hemlock and Silver, again, T. Kingfisher. Again, I'm keeping all of T. Kingfisher stuff on my list. This is also relatively new. Or wait, August 19th. This isn't out yet. Never mind, it's not new. But yeah, when that comes out, I'm definitely going to pick it up. Oh yeah, I knew that this hadn't come out yet. I just requested the ARC for this, so fingers crossed. I would love to get that and read that as soon as I can. The Sunrise on the Reaping. This is the latest Hunger Games book. Everybody has heard about this book. I have not read it yet, but I want to. I liked Hunger Games when I was growing up, so sure, I'll take more Hunger Games. I didn't read the other, what was it, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I heard pretty meh things about it. I watched the movie. The movie was good, so I don't need to read it. But this one I'll read. Children of Ash and Elm. This I was planning on reading last quarter. For Historathon, and it does sound really good. So it's very possible that I'll pick this up. I'm not in a nonfiction mood, honestly, or not like a historical nonfiction book, at least. So I do want to pick it up, but it's not on my short list. A Marvelous Light. How many times am I going to talk about Marvelous Light and how badly I want to read it? It's going to stay on here. Nuclear War, a Scenario? That doesn't sound very fun. 5 stars. This is the scariest book I've ever read my entire life, and I've thought about it every night since I read it a few months ago. You will never be the same after you read this. Good luck. No thank you. I'm scared enough. I don't need a book to change me. No, thank you. The Saint of Bright Doors, absolutely staying. I've heard at least Ross at over on Hardy's Books has been shouting this book's praises, and I gotta pick it up. It sounds really, really good. Catabasis or Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. Is this out yet? I don't think it's out yet. It's coming this year. Okay, August of this year. Actually, I think I requested the arc of this as well, but I don't think I will get it. But I would like to try more R.F. Kuang. This one, I will say, I don't know that I'm blown away by the premise yet. It's interesting. It's definitely going to be, again, like dark academia, which doesn't typically work for me. But it's like two students are trying to get their papers in or something, like get them graded, and then their professor is taken down into hell, and now they have to go rescue the professor so that they can turn in their papers. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm intrigued, but I don't know if I think it'll land with me fully. But we'll see. I'm still keeping it. The Black Mantle, Shadowbinders 2. I read and enjoyed Harbinger of Justice, so I will definitely be picking this up. That can stay. I'm a big fan of Andrew Watson and the things that he does. The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell. That's not the book that I'm looking up. That's not the book that I meant to search. The Extraordinaries. Oh, TJ Klune. Yes, this one. This one was brought to my attention by one of you. Hi, Alvin. This is TJ Klune, right? So it's going to be like a nice, cozy, queer, coming-of-age story, but it's also superheroes in there somehow. I would love that. I would love a TJ Klune superheroes book, and it exists. I'm fully on board. That's definitely staying on my list. Moon Soul by Nathaniel Lescombe? Not sure. Sci-fi, cozy sci-fi. Okay, sure. I feel like I remembered this coming up in conversation recently. So, yeah, I could do cozy sci-fi. We used to live here. It's getting a lot of buzz in my brain, and I think on the internet as well. This is a horror story that I want to read kind of on the sooner side. It just sounds really good. It's like they leave their house, or they live in a house. They move into a house, and somebody comes up to the door, and they're like, "Oh my God, yeah, I used to live in this house," or "We used to live here," and then horror ensues. And I think that's a really spooky, clever premise, or just like fun premise. It's not like clever, but fun. I like that. I like that. I'm into it. I've heard good things. Tom Orange specifically loved this book. We Are Legion, We Are Bobiverse 1. Yeah, I want to read it. This is a classic. I want to read it. A friend of mine just read it recently. I want to pick it up. So, yeah, that's on my list. The Blackfire Blade. This is a book 2, which is okay because I'm currently reading The Silver Blood Promise, which is really good. I am quite literally at 99% complete with this book. There are 12 minutes left in the audiobook, but I ran out of time. I had to come down here and film this, and I've already been called out on that, the 99% in the comments here on Goodreads, but whatever. It's just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't wait another 12 minutes. There's no time. So anyway, I really am loving the Silver Blood Promise. I'm excited to talk to you about that once I finish it in 12 minutes. And this is book 2. I will definitely be picking that up. I'm very confident. Unless the last 12 minutes of this book ruins my life, I will be picking up book 2 probably as soon as it comes out. The Gap into Conflict, the real story, the Gap Cycle #1. I've heard good things about this series. Sci-fi, fantasy, space opera. I've been recommended this, I think just very recently even. So this is going to stay. Obviously, it's very recently. This is the last 5 books on this list, and it is in order by when I added them. So, yeah, that's going to stay. The Vanished Birds, this, again, obviously, recent recommendation. This is a book by Simon Jimenez, who wrote The Spear Cuts Through Water. I don't know which one I'm going to start with, but I think I'm going to keep both on my TBR. It sounds like this is like the author to read right now. I feel like they're only writing hits, it seems, and I want to be a part of that buzz. So I got to pick up some of their work at some point, and I have, again, heard really good things about this book. So I'll be picking it up at some point, I hope. The Butcher of the Forest. This one is also going to stay on my TBR. This one was just mentioned in a video by Hardy's Books. Yeah, of course, it's Hardy's Books. Yeah, I think actually maybe the next 3 are kind of based off of their recommendation. This one's going to stay. It's a fantasy horror novella. Like, check. I'm there. Crooked Plow is also going to stay. This, I think, Laura over at Hardy's Books. Again, I'm just going to name drop them as much as I can, apparently, in this video. But this, I believe, is currently her book of the year so far. I just watched the video where she said these words. I'm pretty sure it was in their mid-year freakout. They were mentioning these books, and this sounds so good based on her description of it, which I'll just point you in the direction of their mid-year freakout to hear what she says about it. But it sounds really good, and it's like a Brazilian book, or it's like set in Brazil, which I don't know that I've read anything set in Brazil. That could be wrong, but I don't think it's wrong. I think that's real, and it's like magical realism type stuff, and it sounds cool. Or I don't know if it sounds cool. It sounds really good. She makes it sound really good. And then The Expanded Earth. This one, I don't know if it's it is, again, because of Hardy's Books, but or like at least Ross over there, and then also my friend Timo. He also just picked this up, and I think they've been talking about Mikey Please for a while. I just picked up a different book by Mikey Please. It's like a children's book, and I read that. I said I just picked it up today, and I read it today. A children's book, so tiny little thing, but it was really good. It was really cute, and this is a full-length, not cute, not children's book, sci-fi fantasy story that sounds really good, and yeah, I'm excited. I like the author now based on the littlest bit that I know about him. He's also like an animator. Anyway, sounds really cool. I'm very excited for it. I have not picked it up yet, but I'm excited. I'm only just now noticing this little man, or that's maybe a statue. I thought this was like small plants, but these are big plants. Doesn't matter at all. Oh, Expanded Earth. Okay. Doesn't matter at all. Anyway, sounds really cool. That's the last book on this list. That is the most recent book that I added to my TBR, and I added it today after reading the kids book by Mikey Please. So yeah, that's a good place to end it. We did not take off a ton today, but that was fully expected. So well done. Okay, that was pretty good. We did really well there. Like I said at the beginning, there were 77 new editions since September, and we cut down 17 of them, which, considering that those 77 books were added like more mindfully than all of the other books added to this spreadsheet, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with being able to cut down 17 books, but I'm also happy with knowing that I've added 60 books to my TBR that I think are worthwhile, that I think are worth leaving on the list. So that was really great. And there's a lot of question marks here too, or not really a lot of question marks, but there's a couple question marks where like a lot of those YA middle grade books that I left on, I think maybe I can fine tune that and like cut down a little bit of those, because realistically, I don't read a ton of YA middle grade stuff, and I'd like to read more, especially as my nephew is getting really into books and like reading the nerdy stuff that I like. So, but the YA version of it. And so I would like to do more buddy reading with him, and I would like to build up a sort of, I don't know, database in my brain of YA books that I can read again with my kids later down the line. So yeah, I'm happy with how we did. And I'm looking forward to continuing this series with you next month. Like I said at the beginning, I think next month's video is just going to be me like going through all the comments of my previous videos and all my question marks and trying to make final determinations on, things that were up in the air a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that. I will see you there. Hopefully, at least if you've enjoyed this. Make sure you let me know if I made any mistakes today. If there's books that I left on my list that you think I should take off, or books that I took off that you think I should leave on. As always, it's a huge help. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.